Okay, so there's clearly a winner here. It's Claude Fable 5 versus ChatGPT 5.5. Let's take a look and see which one's better. Hey, I'm Diane. I'm the co-founder of the Design Project. We work with over 50 B2B SaaS teams to ship products faster with AI. We're really diving deep into design systems and how to create an AI managed design system that you can really put into your product, and it's going to help your product ship way faster and more concise. Super excited to share more with you. Let's get back to this. First, I'm going to give you a preview. I'm going to show you what the output was, and then you're going to have to stick around for the video to see which output was Fable 5 and which output was GPT 5.5. Basically, this is a product that I'm currently building. I'm working on a feature. Right now, how it works is you can leave comments on your product. So if this is a prototype or an actual product, you can just go ahead. I can jump in here. I can leave feedback. A feature that we are working on is I want to leave feedback like I would in Google Docs. I want to change this copy. I want to give feedback specifically on this. So this is the two designs that I came back with. This first one, I'm basically hovering here, sliding. Okay, feedback. Okay, so it didn't really highlight what I'm doing. It doesn't really feel like Google Docs-esque, so it leaves a comment and I guess it's here. If I click on it, I'm assuming that CR means that that's copy. I'm not sure. Okay, let's look at option 2. So I come in here, copy. Okay, so it still doesn't highlight the copy, but look, there's this fun little animation here where I can leave feedback on this notification. Okay, and then it highlights. Interesting. So this clearly is better. And look, there's a nice little animation over here versus here I have to click on it. So this is super interesting. Let's go rewind and let's see the process that got me here. And then I'll reveal which one is GPT 5.5 and which one is Fable 5. Let's get started. Okay, so here we are. I have a Codex test and a Fable test set up to be run right now. So we're going to be doing it on a current product that we're building internally with our team. And essentially what you do is it's a commenting tool. So you can, it's called Carrot. You can come and you can leave feedback. This should be down instead of up. Change, an example, it could be anything. Change this to yellow. And what's really cool is you will be able to have these comments and you can say you're ready for them to be moved to the agent. And when you come to your dashboard, you actually can go in, you can see the changes that you made, and you can actually send to Claude to fix all of the changes. So you could select however many you want, and it's going to go in and it's going to fix all of them that are ready. And it's going to streamline the whole process for leaving comments. If you're curious to learn more or you want to sign up and test it out, there's a link in the description below. So have fun and let me know what you think. Okay, but that's just a side note. So, and we're going to be using Fable to see which one is better, Fable or Codex. So we're going to be working on a feature. The feature really, I have a whole PRD here, and I have a PRD based on a transcript of what the project is, what the feature is that we're trying to build. I plugged it into my PRD skill and it created this very detailed PRD that is actually going in and understanding what the context of the actual product is to make sure that it is coming up with ideas and suggestions based on understanding the full scope of the internal code base as well as doing some research. So this is a super cool skill. If you guys are interested, you can get access to it for free. There's a link in the description of where all of our skills live. Go wild, it's super cool. And we also have a community. So if you want to get more of these skills and things like that, you can sign up for the community and that's where we can all chat. You get access to me, my whole team. We're all sharing the best new cool ideas, giving feedback on other people's projects. So feel free to join that. It's super cool. But the skill works really well. So I'm a really big fan of the skill. And once I have the skill in, then I can actually run. But let's talk a little bit about what the feature is. So essentially, I already showed you guys, you can come in and you can leave comments here, right? But what was feedback we got is I want to leave text changes. I want to use this kind of like we do with Google Docs. Here, let me pull up a doc. So this, being able to go in and leave a comment, this is what we want Carrot to also be able to do. Because right now it's really just you take a specific element and can leave a comment there. So we wrote a whole PRD right here, and basically we're just gonna have Codex run it and Fable run it, and we're gonna see what the output is. Okay, let's come up with some options that we wanna do. So let's do plan mode first, and then I want to actually build it out. So I'm gonna do this first for both because I want us to see how Codex and Fable think about actually diving deep and planning out what we should be doing. So they're both thinking. Codex is thinking, and let's take a look at what Codex has come up with. So option A, fast MVP. Text selection creates a comment with exact selection stored. So it's saying drag over, popovers, store. The trade-off is faster, but not very Google Docs visually because persistent highlights are basic or absent. Or option B, solid V1. This is my recommendation. Includes everything in A plus text anchors, persistence, small caret, commenter marker. Okay, more work. Option C, full Google Doc feel. Includes B plus floating comments, margin markers. Okay, I don't know about this. I want to still test out this feature, so I don't think I need to go all in on option C. Option B, I'm really curious to see what it actually does. But let's go ahead and take a look. So Fable, it's been doing for 1 minute, still thinking. What I really like is that it is telling you exactly what it's doing, which Codex doesn't do as much. It kind of just says, okay, we're working in the background. And I think that's just that delightful Claude experience that happens. Okay, so Fable is definitely taking longer than Codex did. Okay, so it's pulling up, and it's also asking me in classic Claude fashion the options I want in a little modal, but I haven't read them yet. Okay, all 3 explorations are back and confirming the PRD's file map is accurate. So it's taking the widget, understanding the backend, that's great, and then it's giving me some realistic scoping. Option A, full V1, so all 7 PRDs, it basically broke out my PRDs. Schema API, okay, this is all kind of backend, how it actually works, which is great. Of course, I'm more of the designer, so I want to know the backend, but I'm more curious the UX side of it. So it's just kind of explaining the backend and what it's going to do. Complete feature. Option B, end-to-end vertical slice. So it's going to do everything. Or options. Okay, so Codex I feel like gave way more clear what it's looking to do. This is kind of very detailed and technical. Let's go with their recommended because that's what we did for Codex. So we're going to do, okay, it's asking me some good technical questions. I'm going to get started here. And then I'm also going to say option B. And then it's asking me when this one last question for resolve text comments, should they show highlight, small caret marker as a default? Or a question. Okay, both off and running. So Codex is telling me walking me through their process a little bit. It's editing the layer now. Let's take a look at Fable. So Fable is just having its agent go in and start working. Codex still kind of walking through everything that it's doing, which is fun to kind of follow along and see. Okay, Fable 5 is just keeping it locked down, which is very different than usual. Usually Claude kind of walks through every single thing that it's doing. So it's an interesting, something that I did like is it's really thinking about it in terms of how to build this. And it suggested, if you remember, it said, do you want to create 7 PRs or 1? Of course, if I was actually building this out and not just building a prototype, I want to align with my engineering team and understand how they would like me to break up the project so that I would submit PRs that were actually under 500 lines so they could actually review it if I was actually building this out and I wanted to actually ship the code. Okay, so it looks like it's wiring the widget. On Fable. Okay, still designing. Okay, so we'll stay with Codex because it's more fun. I feel like I'm seeing what's actually happening. And if you guys are wondering what am I using, I'm actually using a new CLI called Conductor, I'm going to be making a video on it soon, but I really like it because it's way more visual as a designer, and I can work on different projects here, and I can work on different branches, and it's just really easy to visually see everything that I have going on. There's also a lot of fun things where it's working, it's easy to push PRs from here, and it makes a fun little sound when things are done, which Ghosty, I used to use it. It did as well, but it just feels like easier to navigate and more friendly for non-engineers. So I'm a pretty big fan of it. They also have where you could easily switch through any model you want. You could enter plan mode here. They do have fast mode, which be careful with fast mode because it burns a lot of tokens. But it just feels really easy to navigate. I also can go and see directly in my terminal. I also can see all my files here, which, like, if I wanted to open my MD file, I can do it right here. So it's super nice. So far, I'm a big fan of it. So it looks like Codex is finishing up. It's running some checks right now. Fable 5's been running for 12 minutes, and I'm still unaware of what's going on. It's just going to surprise me. Okay, so here's like a full what it's done. I'm not going to read through all of this in detail right now. Oh, it's still working on a couple things. Okay, so Fable just threw this all out all at once. So it looks like it's done, but we're going to do the final reveal with both. So we're going to wait. So it's been running for 21 minutes. The implementation is done, and now it's going to start testing. That is so much more time than Codex took, which was 10 minutes. So super interesting. Okay, so Fable 5 has officially stopped. Let's take a look. So it took 38 minutes and 55 seconds compared to GPT 5.5, which took 10 minutes and 5 seconds. It finished with this long explanation. And if we go through, it's saying Carrot's feedback widget only supports, want it to be Google style precision, agreed scope, key constraints. And then it goes into how it actually worked through this feature. So it started with the schema and migration, store level, kept going, then the dashboard agent prompt, and then it did a few tests. It verified those tests. And then here's like a description of what it actually shipped, which was this widget, and then also an API in the database, right? So, and the dashboard and an agent prompt. So very detailed. And clearly this feature was not just a UX UI challenge. It was also, how does it actually work? What is the functionality that we can incorporate here? And then if we go back to what Codex did, this is kind of their summary. What changed? What key files it updated? And then it verified. So let's go take a look at the final product. Let's go to option 1. So this is option 1. We'll reveal at the end which one is which, but let's see. So I want to copy this. Okay, so it doesn't keep the highlight. It says there's a screenshot here. Carrots level down your product. Okay, here it is. I guess CR is showing that it's the text. Interesting. Okay, let's look at the second option. So the second option, let's do the same exercise. So we'll highlight it. Okay, so there's not a highlight again like the first, but there's this fun little notification banner. Carrots level down your product. Okay, I'm gonna send. Okay, so then it does highlight it after. That's nice. Let me try with this too. Okay, so this is nice. It feels more like Docs, Google Docs that we know, where you can just highlight it and it shows that there's feedback here. Oh, when I hover over, it shows, oh, it's a nice little animation too. That's fun. Let me go back. Right, there's only a click. Okay, so there's clearly a winner here. It's option 2. Option 2, dun dun dun, is Fable 5. Big surprise. The hype obviously makes sense. It's worth the hype. This was GPT 5.5, which is okay. Definitely from a one prompt, it didn't go deep enough like I would like it to. So super interesting. And clearly Fable 5 took way more time. It was really getting into the details, and it makes me think, how am I going to use this? Is Fable 5 going to be my go-to? I am concerned about price. I think right now it's free, and then we get hooked on it, and then Anthropic's going to say, okay, it's expensive. It's X amount of tokens. I don't know yet. We'll see. But essentially what this makes me think is that I probably will be bouncing around, which is kind of what I do now. Sometimes I use Claude, sometimes I use Codex. It just depends on what I'm doing or how many tokens I've used so far. So what I'm thinking is I'll still pick up that model is for really small design changes, I'll use ChatGPT 5.5. And then when I feel like I'm doing something really deep or I want to be creative or I really want to push the boundaries and see what I can actually do from a UX UI perspective, clearly I will be using Fable 5 moving forward. So this was a really interesting test. I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited of what Fable 5 can help designers do in the future. And I want to note that this is all of these tools, everything changing daily, weekly. It's a lot. It's also like, how do you fit this into your current product cycle? What tools make sense? What is the process? And right now I offer workshops. So if this is something where you're struggling and you would really like someone that has all the knowledge, is doing all the research to help you come in and figure out what is the best course of action for your product team to really deliver top-notch UX, UI designs in a product cycle that's shortened because of AI, but doesn't miss any of the elements, take a look. There's a link in the description, and I would love to hear a little bit more from you. So thank you so much. Please like and subscribe if this was useful. I'm putting out content weekly on how product teams can design better with AI. I'll see you in the next one.